et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. A te levavi animam meam, Deus meus in te confido non erubescam, neque rideant me inimici mei, et enim universi qui te expectant non confundentur.
Kyrie eleison, Christe eleison, Kyrie eleison, Kyrie eleison.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Amen. Excitat fesumus Domine potentiam tuam et veni, ut abiment intentibus peccatorum nostrorum periculis temereamur protegente erifi, deliberante salvari, qui vivis et regnas cum Deo Patri in unitate Spiritus Sancti Deus per omnia saecula saeculorum.
A reading from the Epistle of Blessed Paul the Apostle to the Romans. Brethren, it is now the hour for you to wake up from sleep, because our salvation is closer than when we first accepted the faith. The night is far gone, the day is drawing near. Let us cast aside deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. Let us live honorably as in daylight, not in carousing and drunkenness, not in sexual excess and lust, not in quarreling and jealousy. Instead, put on the Lord Jesus Christ. The word of the Lord.
Thanks. Universi qui te expectant, non confundentur Domine. Vias tuas, Domine, notas facili, et semitas tuas edocere. Alleluia, alleluia. Ostende nobis, Domine, misericordiam tuam, et salutare tuum da nobis. Alleluia.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. At that time, Jesus said to his disciples, "There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish, distraught at the roaring of the sea and the waves. Men will die of fright in anticipation of what is coming over the earth, for the hosts of heaven will be shaken loose. And then men will see the Son of Man coming on a cloud with great power and glory. When these things begin to happen, stand up straight and raise your heads, for your redemption is near at hand." Then he told them a parable. "Notice the fig tree and trees in general. When they are budding, you see them and know for yourselves that summer is near. Likewise, when you see these things happening, you know that the kingdom of God is near. Let me tell you this, the present generation will not pass away until all these things happen. Heaven and earth will pass away. My words will never pass away." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise
Dear brothers and sisters, as we begin the season of Advent, we are invited by the liturgy of the Church to reflect on the deep meaning of this time. As you know, the word Advent comes from Latin and means coming. Who is coming and for whom he is coming? The Gospel today gives us a clear answer to this question. From the beginning of Advent, we have to keep in mind that the Advent expresses threefold coming of Jesus Christ. The first coming took place about 2,000 or over 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem, when the Son of God became man, similar to us in everything except the sin. So the time of Advent is to remind us every year about that great event in the history of humanity. We try to recall what the people of Israel, the God's chosen people, lived for centuries, waiting or expecting the coming of the Messiah. And in this aspect, Advent's goal is to prepare us to participate fully in the mystery and joy of Christmas, this first coming of Jesus Christ. The liturgy of the Church and our wonderful traditions help us to live this mystery of Christ's birth in such a realistic way, as though it happened right now in our churches, in our homes, families. The second coming of Jesus will take place at the end of the world, when Jesus will come as King and Lord to take to his kingdom all those who followed faithfully his teaching, as we heard in the Gospel today. These signs will accompany the second coming of Jesus Christ. The terrible signs, as Jesus says in the Gospel, that people will die of fright in anticipation of what is coming over the earth. So Jesus did not tell us when it would happen and how it would happen, in order that we may always stay watchful, awake, waiting for his coming. Actually, it doesn't matter for us when he would come. What really matters is that we may be prepared and ready for his coming at whatever hour he would come. That's why Jesus He's telling us to be watchful, to be alert, because He will come at the hour we do not expect. He doesn't want to frighten us. He just wants to give us a warning not to be caught off guard when that day will come. And in this aspect of second coming of Christ, the Advent's goal is to prepare us for personal encounter with God, face to face, at the end of our earthly journey. Probably we will not live until really the second coming of Jesus Christ, to the end of the world. But we know that our end of this world will be at the moment of our death. And that moment is also unknown to us. That's why we should stay awake and be ready at any time that whatever hour, day, God would call us. Are you ready today, tonight? Are you ready for tomorrow? We don't know. How many of us probably will not live until the next Advent? Nobody knows. That's why Jesus says, be watchful, be awake, be prepared, because you do not know nor day nor hour when God will call us from this world. And between those two comings, there is a third coming of Jesus, or rather this continual coming or staying of Jesus with us. In this present time, any time we celebrate the Holy Eucharist, Jesus is coming again here to stay, to be present among us. When you go to confession, you encounter really the presence of Jesus who is coming to you. When you listen to His word, Jesus is coming to us in the very multiple way that Jesus is coming, or we can live His presence among us. So the Advent expresses in symbol and ritual three stages in the human journey. Christ has come, Christ will come, and Christ is here right now, present among us. So these, for the first 3 weeks of Advent, emphasize the aspect of Christ's second coming. The last week, which begins on December 17th, the liturgy of Advent focuses more on the historical event of the birth of the Son of God. So we remember the first coming, we look forward to the second one, and we live the third one. That means continual staying of Jesus in the mystery of the liturgy with us. The first coming of Jesus is important to us, as well as the second one. However, the most important for us is that continual coming of Jesus every day, every moment to us, or staying with us in the liturgy of this, in the sacraments, that Jesus comes to us with His grace. So in this time of Advent, we are not only to think and to thank for what Jesus did for us in the past, over 2,000 years ago, and what would happen at the end of the world. But we should rather think more of what we can do now in order to respond with commitment, to live with commitment every day, deeper and deeper relationship of love, faith with Jesus, who is so close to us. St. Paul tells us that this is the hour now for you to awake from sleep, for our salvation is closer than when we first believed. So it is the hour now, not next Sunday, not tomorrow, but right now we should think about the program that we are going to undertake during this time of Advent in order to take advantage this time to prepare ourselves the best way we can to live the first coming, that means the mystery of Christmas, the second coming, that means the moment of our departure from this world, and to live in a deep faith, the third coming, that means continual presence of Jesus among us. And for us, the best teacher, best spiritual guide for this time of Advent will be the Blessed Virgin Mary, who lived in continual expectation, adoration of the Word incarnate in her womb. So let she be mother, teacher, and guide for us, how we should adore that Lord, how we should listen to His Word, meditate and keep His Word in our hearts, and put it into practice, so that on Christmas Day we may accept Him with open hearts, full of love, joy, faith, and adoration.
Credo in unum Deum,
Patrem omnipotentem, Factorem celi et terrae, visibilium hominum, et invisibilium, et in unum Dominum Iesum Christum, Filium Dei unigenitum, et ex Padre amatum, ante omnia secula, Deum de Deum, lumen de lumine, Deum verbum de Deo verbo, genitum non factum, consubstantialem Patri, per omnia pacta sunt, qui propter nos homines, et propter nostram salutem, descendit et celis, et incarnatus est, de Spiritu Sancto, ex Maria Virgine, et homo Pagus est, crucifixus etiam pro nobis, sub Pontio Pilato, passus et sepultus est, et resurrexit tertia die, secundum scripturas, et nascendit in caelum, sedetat ex terra Patris, et iterum venturus est gloria, judicare vivos et mortuos, cuius regi non erit finis, et in Spiritum Sanctum Dominum, et vivificantem, qui ex parte Filio progenit, qui cum Patre et Filio simul adoratum, et glorificatum, qui locutus est per profetas, et unam sanctam catholicam, et apostolicam ecclesiam, confiteor unum baptismam, in remissionem peccatorum, et ex seculum resurrectionem mortuorum, et vitam venturis seculi. Amen. Spiritu tuo. A te, Domine, levavi anima mea, Deus meus in te confido, non erubesca, neque iridias me, inimici mei, et enim universi qui te expectam, non confundentur. Veni, veni, Emmanuel, captivum sobe Israel, qui gemit in exilio, privatus Dei Filio. Gaude, gaude, Emmanuel, nascetur pro te Israel. Veni, veni, Rex Gentium, veni, Redemptor omnium, ut salvas tuos famulos, peccatis sibi conscios. Gaude, gaude, Emmanuel, nascetur pro te Israel. Veni, veni, oriens, solare nos adveniens, ut Christe pelle nebulas, dirasque noctis tenebras. Gaude, gaude, Emmanuel, nascetur pro te Israel.
Orate fratres.
Patrem omnipotentem, Amen. Ex sacras Domine petensi virtute mundatus ad sum atiam furiores veni in principium. Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Dominus vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Sursum corda.
Abemus ad Dominum.
Gratias agamus, Domino Deo nostro,
Dignum et justum est.
vere dignum et justum est, equum et salutare, nos tibi semper et ubique, gratias agere, Domine Sancte Pater Omnipotens Eterne Deus, qui cum unigenito Filio Tuo, et Spiritus Sancto unus est Deus, unus est Dominus, non in unius singularitate personae, sed in unius Trinitate substantiae, quod enim de tua gloria revelante te credimus, hoc de Filio tuo, hoc de Spiritu Sancto, sine differentia discretionis sentimus.
ut in confessione vera sempiterneque Dei itatis, et in personis proprietas, et in essentia unitas, et in majestate adoretur hec qualitas. Quam laudant angeli atque arcangeli, cherubim quoque ac seraphim, qui non cessant clamare quotidie, una voce dicentes.
Dominus Deus, Sabaoth, plenis sunt celi et terra, gloria tua, Hosanna, in excelsis, benedictus qui veni, in nomine Domini, Hosanna, in
Ioannis et Pauli, hospem Damian, et omnibus sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis virtibus contemperis, ut in omnibus protectionis dominiamur auxilio per eodem Christum Dominum nostrum. Concigitur oblationem selicius nostris et sanctificamentur, Deus Domine, peccatus accipias, iesque nostros in tua pace disponas, ac aeterna damnazione nos eripi, et in electorum tuorum iubas regenerare per Christum Dominum nostrum. Quam oblationem tu Deus in omnibus quesumus benedictam, adscriptam, ratam, rationabilum et beneque pace digneris ut nobis corpus, et sanctis fiat electissimi Filii Tui Domini nostri, Iesu Christi. Qui pridie, quam Patriatur accepit panem in sanctas ac venerabiles manus suas, et elevatis oculis in celum ad Te, Patrem Deum omnipotentem. Tibi gratias agens benedixit, fregit, dedicque discipulis suis dicens. Accipite, et manducate ex hoc omnes, hoc est enim corpus meum. Simil modo postquam senatum est. Accipiens in hunc proclarum calicem sanctas ac venerabiles manus suas, ite tibi gratias agens, benedixit, dedicque discipulis suis dicens. Accipite et bibite ex eo omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, novi et eterni testamenti, mysterium fidei, qui pro vobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum, hec quoquiescum feceritis, in mei memoriam facietis. und et memoris Domine. Nos servituis et plebs tua sancta ius in Christi Creatui Dominum nostri traditionis nobis quoque peccatoribus vobis tuis. Per ipsum, et cum ipso, et in ipso, est tibi Deo Patri omnipotenti, in unitate Spiritus Sancti omnis honor et gloria. Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Oremus. Recepti salutaribus moniti et divina institutione formati, audemus dicere. Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem,
Sed libera nos a malo.
Amen. Libera nos quesumus Domine ad omnibus maleficis, pesantibus artibus et apostolis tuis Peter et Paulo, ad pehandre et omnibus sanctis, et propitius Patrem in Dievis nostris, et per misericordiae Tua, et iuti et peccavissimus semper liberi, et ab omnia tentationem secoli. Per eudem Dominum nostrum, Iesum Christum, Filium Tuum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Spiritus Sancti. Per omnia saecula saeculorum.
Amen.
Pax Domini sit semper vobiscum.
Et cum spiritu tuo. Agnus Dei, qui tuonis peccata mundi, miserere miserere nobis, agnus Dei, quid vobis peccata mundi, dona nobis pacem.
Panem celestum accipiam et nomen Domini vocam. Domine. 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 Sanguis Dominus Iesus Christus, et nomen vitam aeternam.
Miserere Deus omnipotens Deus et dimissis peccatis vestris perducat vos ad vitam aeternam. Indulgentiam absolutionem remissionem peccatorum vestrorum tribuat vobis omnipotens et misericors Dominus. Ex actus Dei, ecce qui tollit peccata mundi. Domine. Domine. Domine.
Dominus dabit benedictatem, et terra nostra dabit fructum suum. Rorate celi super, et nubes fluant iustum. Rorate celi super, et nubes fluant iustum. Neias caris Domine, neutra me mineris iniquitatis, ecce civitas sancti facta est deserta, et iniquitates nostre, quasi ventus abstulerum nos, abscondisti faciem tuam, a nobis, et adicisti nos, Immanuel iniquitatis nostre, prorater celi super, et nubes fluvius, videte nomine, afflictionem populi tui, et miite, quem misurus est, emite annum dominatorem terre, de petra deserti ad montem finies io, ut afferantix iucum captivitatis nostre, prorater celi super, et nubes fluantius, prorater celi super, et nubes fluantius. Redemptoris Mater, que per via celi portamantes, et stella maris, succurre cadenti, sucere figurat populum, tuque genuisi, natura mirante, tuum sanctum genitorem, Virgo prius, Apostelius, Gabrielis amore, sumen silulave, peccatorum miserere.
Dominus vobiscum,
Et cum spiritu tuo.
Suscipiamus Domini misericordiam Tuam in medio templi Tui, ut reparationis nostre ventura solemnia congrui honoribus precedamus, per Dominum nostrum Iesum Christum, Filium Tui, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate iusdem Spiritus Sancti Deus, per omnia saecula saeculorum. Dominus vobiscum,
Et cum spiritu tuo.
mundo erat, et mundus per ipsum factus est, et mundus non proponit. In propria venit, et sui eum non receperit. Quod autem receperunt eum debit eis potestatem filius Dei piena, quisqui credunt in nomine eis, qui non ex sanguinis, nec ex voluntate carnis, nec ex voluntate viris, et ex Deo natus sunt. Et verbum caro Patris, et habitavit in nobis, et vidimus gloriam eis, gloriam quasi unigenitum Patre plenum gratiae veritatis.
Deo gratias. Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, et spes nostra salve, a parte clamamus, exuleres, a te suspiramus, gementes et verentes, in lacrimarum vale, adulata nostra, in nos tuos misericordes oculos, ad nos converte, et Iesum benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis post hoc exilio ostende. Clemens, Dulcis Virgo Maria.
Ora pro nobis sancta Dei gentui,
Ut in efficiamur promissionibus Christi.
orem. Omnipotens et eterne Deus, qui glorios et virtus nosis Mariae corpus et anima, ut Dei nuclei tui habitaculum et insimere Rebe Spiritus Sancto cooperante preparasti, dauculis commemoratione notavum, eius via intercessione ab instantibus malis et a morte perpetua liberemur, per eum Christum Dominum nostrum.
In exitu Israel de Egypto, Domus Jacob et populo barbaro, facta est Judea sanctificatio eius, Israel potestas eius. Maranatha, 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 Mare vidite fugi, Jordanis conversus est retrorsum. Movuntis exulta verunt ut arietes, et coles sunt anio vium. Maranatha, 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 Iesu, veni Domine, Iesu. Let us offer prayer to St. Michael the Archangel, asking St. Michael and all the angels to lead into paradise the souls of the faithful departed we commend to God's mercy in this Advent season, and that the holy angels may watch over Holy Church, protecting her from all enemies without and from all scandal and division within. St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle, be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the other evil spirits who prowl throughout the world, seeking the ruin of souls. And let us offer a memorare, commending to the Immaculate Heart of Mary our special intentions, those recovering from illness and in special need at this time: Mike Bohenick, Paco Godinez, Rich Freeman, Kevin Martin, Sharon Martin, Magdalene, Mary Frances, John Dusky's sister, the Gomez family, Paige Gutierrez, Nikki and Mickey Gutierrez, Stephen Spudich, Stephen Shigalski, Andrew Moe, Robert Moe, Vincent Michelli, Michael Reyna, Caitlin Reyna Michelli, Jim Adams, Ed Sadlowski, and all those who have asked for our prayers, especially those suffering in war-torn areas and troubled spots of the world where the church is persecuted, for also good health and God's blessings for Miguel Rosas, for whom this Holy Mass was offered, for the protection of human life in all its stages, and the special intentions of all those praying with us here this evening. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thy intercession, was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To thee I come, before thee I stand, simple and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy answer me. Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Chenstohova, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Saint Joseph, Saint Cecilia, Saint Padre Pio, Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, Saint Elizabeth of the Trinity, Saint Faustina Maria Kowalska, Saint Jacinta and Francisco Martu, Saint Jose Sanchez del Rio, Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta, and for the holy popes whose intercession we implore in these troubled times for the Church and the world. Saint Pius V, pray for us. Blessed Pope Pius IX, Saint Pius X, Saint John the 23rd, Saint Paul VI, and Saint John Paul II. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
doesn't have any